Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Thegrea. I like this deck because it's got this unique new mechanic they've been trying where you have two grade 3s that facilitate the Persona ride. With that being said, I think that it has a ton of potential and it synergizes extremely well with a lot of the older, more generic header support we've gotten for Overdress, but it still feels like it's missing one or two pieces. So this video today is just to kind of talk through how I like to play the deck, and hopefully we can push the meta on this deck for those Thegrea appreciators out there. Don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe, as it does help the channel. And if you also play Thegrea, please feel free to share your Thegrea deck building ideas or techs that you like to play in the deck, as it's just really helpful for everyone, so everyone can get better faster. So let's talk about the red line. This is a pure Thegrea red line because you get benefits for riding over each Thegrea with another Thegrea. So when you ride the grade 2 on top of the grade 1, you can look at the top card. If it's a grade 2 or less, you can choose to play it. This is a really nice power creep to older set 1 Overdress red line skills where you were forced to call the top card, but now you get to choose, so you don't get that meme anymore where it's the Bastion grade 2 looking behind him at the heal trigger. No more. If you find those triggers, you can just leave them on top and get a trigger. Otherwise, you get a call. If it's a grade 3, then you stack it on top and you have ways to grab those two from the top. When you ride the grade 3 on top of the grade 2 Thegrea, you look at top 5 and you add either a card with Thegrea in its name or your grade 2 dual nation piece. So just a really nice way to stay consistent. I think you can also try the Blaster Dark with either the Javelin or Marin and Wingle, but the consistency you get from this red line is very nice. So that's the red line. We do play the light Thegrea over the dark Thegrea because you want to Persona ride into this first, because this often will win you more games than this will. She restands herself if you ride her on top of the light Thegrea, and then the light Thegrea, when you ride her on top of a dark, you get to restand one of your rear guards. So getting the extra drive is really crucial for finishing games, which is why we play the light one in the right deck. Next, we have grade 3s. We have quite a few of them. Well, not too many, but just enough. We play 4 copies of the Dark Thegrea. I'm actually going to zoom in here for you guys. Pretty cool card. She's got 2 skills. The first one is you can retire 2 rear guards, and you can retire one of your opponent's rear guards. But if you Persona Road over the light Thegrea, then you can retire 2, so then you don't nag. It's a neutral exchange. You lose 2, your opponent loses 2. We play 2 of the light because we already have one in the ride deck, and mainly we play this deck because this card is really good. This one, at the end of the battle she swings, you can discard a card from your hand and restand one of your rear guards if you Persona Road over a dark Thegrea. So the unique interaction here is that if you are riding dark over dark, you do not get the restand. If you ride the light over the light, you do not get the restand. But if you alternate them, then you can continuously loop those very, very strong Persona ride skills that each of them have to offer. So there's that. We also have 2 copies. This is one of my tech cards. So this is Felicita. CB2, and you retire the unit and you choose one of your grade 3 units and it gets drive +1. You give this to the Dark Thegrea on that Persona ride turn, and then she's hitting 23 with triple drive first swing. And then she's hitting 23 twin drive with whatever triggers you want to put on her if you want to do that. So it is a win con. If you don't see this card, it's not the end of the world, as mainly you're looking to get the other stuff, but this just combos super well with Dark Thegrea. The more I play with it, the more I really like it, although there are other spicy techs we'll talk about later in the video. We have a myriad of grade 2s and 1s that help complement the deck. Let's talk about the grade 2s. We play 4 copies of Maple, 4 copies of Drilling Angel, and then we play 4 copies. Went everywhere. We play 4 copies of Arthon. So Maple is your dual nation piece. She has a generic skill. This could be used in any Stoichia or Keter deck. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is placed during the ride phase, if you do not have a Maple on board, you can call her from drop. So basically means she's a free discard. You can commit her early. If she gets popped and sent to the drop zone, totally fine. We have Drilling Angel here, which on place, you put a card from your drop zone into the soul, and then you look at the top 3 cards of the deck. If any of those top 3 is the same name, as a card put into soul, you get to call it to board. So you can build a board, you build soul requirement for Maple's second skill, which is at the end of the battle at attack, you can soul blast any number of cards equal to a grade, and then you add that exact amount or grade to your hand. The way this interaction breaks down is if I have the ride line pieces all in here and I soul charge a Dark Thegrea at any point in the game, on the Maple swing, I can soul blast my grade 2 and my grade 1 because it's equal to 3, and we will add the Dark Thegrea to hand, and then the Maple goes in the soul. So just a cute way to loop your Persona Rise. This means that once you see that first copy of Dark and Light, most of the time you won't need to see another copy. Unlike other decks that require you to continuously hit them, like Tamayura requires you to continuously hit Tamayuras in order to hit numbers and be threatened. And then we have the Arthen. Front row all your rear guards with different card names from this unit cannot be chosen by opponent's card effects. Kind of like not a perfect way to protect your board, but it gets the job done and can slow down your opponent's board retire sometimes. I play 4 of it because not only do you have this cute interaction with the resist for the rest of your units, but on Persona Ride it gets +5. So it's a 25k swinger, which is value if you like hitting numbers. Painkiller Angel, PGs, and we play 2 copies of Diffuser. So Diffuser is my other 2 of tech, so I would say my tech slots are those 4 cards and 1 Arthen. Other than that, I feel like everything else is super standardized and you probably should be playing it if you're going for this particular ride deck combo. But yeah, we have the Diffuser Angel, which on place you can put a card from your hand into soul and you choose one of your vanguards in that unit. Yikes. And then you choose one of your vanguards and that unit gets +5. So not only can you give your Dark Thegrea an extra drive check, but you can also give her an extra 5k so she hits 28, making her a 2-card guard before your opponent starts hitting triggers and all the spicy stuff. So just a nice way to hit numbers, close out games, as once you Persona Ride into this, you're trying to finish your opponent every single time you hit this. So just a cute tech. We have PGs. Yep. And then we have Painkiller Angel, which at the end of the battle, it boosted, you can Soul Blast, and then you retire this unit, you draw a card. Just really good card for consistency in Keter. It's a staple, not much else to say. Now we have triggers. Over trigger, the pool trigger, 3 effect fronts, because if you play draws, you will deck out. 4 copy of effect crit, because you have other skills that also Soul Blast outside of your Maple, and so having this to put into Soul is nice sometimes, as it allows you to have spare fodder for Soul. Otherwise, you have a few interactions where that +2k actually helps you hit better numbers, but most of the time it's there because it's crit and it helps with Soul. 3 regular crit, 3 regular heal. I like this lineup. I probably won't change this. This feels really solid. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about techs. So I did a ton of testing for this deck leading up to this set. And so I have a bunch of techs that either because I don't play them anymore for either build reasons or just playstyle preferences. Feel free to steal any of these for yourself if you like any of them, but also there is a very high chance, it's almost guaranteed, I will miss a very spicy Keter card that works very well in this deck, so please put those in the comments below, as it's very helpful to everyone. We have Ragreel, or Lagreel, or as I like to call him, Swagreel. This works very well if you Persona Ride the light one on top of the dark. You can restand this if your opponent just gives you a bunch of counterblasts, you got a cute play. But in testing, it didn't come up as much and felt like some of the more weaker techs. It was a nice meme option though. But if you want to try Lagreel, I have seen a little bit of success with them, not too much though. We have Izarode Angel. Her interaction with the deck is that she helps you build columns. So if you really like playing into this Dark Thegrea retire skill, and or you're playing this card, I put on screen, this is Rubina. Rubina is for 1 CB, you put a card into the soul and then you draw. And I think that Izarode plus Rubina is a very nice way to do what Drilling Angel does for half the slots. Again, Drilling Angel is pulling from different resources, but in general, I just prefer Drilling Angel. It feels like it does more rolls for less slots, which then gives me the option to tech other cards. But Easy Road isn't bad. It's just, it comes down to preference. I think she's okay in this deck though. Another preference tech here, I guess I'll talk about all my grade 3 techs. We have Pasado. So Pasado is here because he has he can't be chosen by opponent's card effects, and that's pretty good in a deck that really wants to maintain cards on board. It's really hard. This is why you saw me play 4 copies of Arthen or whatever the resist piece is for the rest of your board. But you can also go for this. Also counter charges and soul charges, which is very relevant to this deck as well. And I'm even thinking of going back to playing Thesaurus. I think this is good as like a 2 or 3 of at most. Yeah, we'll talk about these. So we have Nanoful. Nanoful, when you drive check and it reveals a trigger, you put a card from your hand into the soul and you draw a card. Fairly similar to what Rubina does, but for a different requirement. Instead of having a CB, you just have to reveal a trigger. So especially like on the Dark Thegrea turn, this becomes a very potent card. Prior to this deck profile, I was originally playing Nanoful instead of Diffuser Angel, but I wanted the extra numbers over the extra draw because I felt like I was decking out too much. We have Energy Refill Angel. On play Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 2k until the end of turn for each other unit, so it becomes an 18k booster. That's kind of wild, but it's only for 1 turn. So if you're looking for more boosters or things, or just ways to hit numbers for that, like that 1 turn, if you prefer to like finish games faster, maybe this is for you. Otherwise, very skippable. And then finally, we have Bedivere and K. It's generic enough where if you see the one Bedivere and you can make a Bedivere K column, it's 23 on its own, 33 with the Persona Ride. So you're hitting very key numbers. Not much else to say. I don't hate it. But I opted for other stuff because deck space is very tight. And again, we've already talked about like what I consider to be your tech spots, quote unquote. And you guys can feel free to disagree with me on tech spots or what you consider is very important for the deck, as it's still the first set for this deck, so we have a lot of room to grow. But again, I feel like these 5 slots are kind of like, you can get rid of them, you can keep them. So basically what this means is you could do like a 3-2 Bedivere and K count, and you'll have a pretty good time, or like a 2-2 count and then play like a 1 of tech. It's really up to you on your preference, but just some food for thought, just other cards that I thought had really cute interactions or may become very good with this deck, depending on the next wave of support we get. Anyways, don't forget to take care of yourself, y'all. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I really enjoyed playing this deck, and shout out to Brian from Locals for hooking me up with these sick SPs, both in the ride line and in the main deck. It's really enhancing my Thegrea gameplay. But yeah, take care of yourself, guys. Peace out.